morning.
Good morning.
You doing all right? This doggone mic stand.
Yes, I am. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine if this mic stand stop tripping.
You look like you need to find your other mic stand.
Did I lose it or it broke?
You broke one, but I thought you said you had another one.
I thought I did. I don't know what that thing is.
Speaking of mics,
Uh,
while Lily was gone,
yeah,
the snowball mic was in her room
yeah.
because her brother just be dragging stuff around the house.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, bro, you tripping.
I'd be like, man, this dude here, something else.
You are big tripping.
Big tripping, big tripping. Um, Welcome to another episode of the Love Brew podcast. I'm Tommy T.
Hi, Tommy T.
Hi, Artika T. Is that what you call yourself?
Nope.
Is that what you say?
Mm-mm.
It's not
Just be like,
Artika.
mm-hmm.
My name's Artika.
I only met one other one, so.
Tomato.
And people be asking which Artika as if they've met the other one.
Mm-mm-mm. Maybe they thought they did.
They didn't.
Mm.
But you wonder how she's doing.
Who?
The
Artika.
other Artika.
Oh. Good morning.
We found each other on Facebook.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. I met a lot of Tommies.
There's a lot of them in your family.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them in this house.
Yep. I mean, like outside of, people be thinking my name's Thomas, but it's not.
I
It's
know.
actually Tommy. On my birth certificate, it says Tommy. So there it is. Um, it's
Good morning, Miss Katie.
24. Don't y'all hate it when like you have your username all set up in your head and stuff, and then the next thing you know, you gotta put 18 letters on the back end or 18 numbers on the back end of it because somebody.
Because my username is always Artika.
Oh,
The only
yeah.
person that's ever taken my username is my dad.
And I'll be like, man, it's so specific to me.
Mm-hmm.
You
My
know?
dad be like, I'm your daddy.
Mhm.
Good morning, Miss Tillman.
Good morning, Miss Tillman.
But no. My dad will use my name on things when he can't use his name on things.
Oh yeah.
Cause just a couple of characters away. I don't know why he didn't go to my granddaddy's name instead. I guess because, that's his daddy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Although I'm his daughter and he still be taking my usernames. One of my cousins uses my grandma's name
Yeah.
as a username for stuff. Because his name is so common.
Yeah. Anyway, what happened this week?
Um Got back from Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
The drive wasn't as terrible as I thought it would be with 2 kids.
Yeah.
Um, Mostly because they had my sister back there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tommy and my sister are trying to iron out cooking together,
Yeah.
which is going to be funny because my sister's personality and Tommy's personality is comical
Mm-hmm.
together as a fusion because they really do treat each other like brother and sister and don't care what they say to each other. um, what else happened this week? We're about This is terrible. We're about 90% of the way through getting this compost out of the driveway.
Yeah.
This compost has been in the driveway since May.
Man, that's a celebration, man, because this has been a struggle with this compost, man.
Yeah. It's mostly been a struggle because can't take both kids out to shovel the compost. Good
Cause you got
morning, Deshauna.
good morning, Deshauna.
Can't take both kids out to go shovel the compost because Quad tries to eat the compost, and then in the backyard we do have a couple of areas where there's some poison ivy,
Mm-hmm.
and even though they're not where the kids play, the children gravitate to that area for no reason at all.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out how to completely get rid of the poison ivy without digging up the entire backyard. Um, because where it was and where it's
Morning, Hubert.
growing now are two different places. Morning, Hubert. And those two different places, while connected, you know that it's just growing under the ground to
Hmm.
get to that other place. So
Yeah. Um. Yeah. It's
needless to say, kids, poison ivy don't go together, which means Tommy and I go one at a time unless somebody is here to watch the kids, which my sister has done it a couple of times. My mom has done it. That's pretty much it. I
yeah.
don't want to go drop them off anywhere just to shovel. Because by the time I get back home, I'm going to be like, I'm not going to shovel.
Yeah. But the number one thing that happened this week, the Celtics won the championship. We are
Oh, yeah.
champions for the 18th time. Thank
Congratulations
you.
to the Boston
Thank you. I
Celtics.
worked really hard. Um,
You were sweating.
I was sweating. I really rooted well for the team. Um, had a lot of fun. It took a team to do it. Everybody was involved,
What's
and
funny is shortly after they won, Tommy sent me a screenshot of what championship gear he was ordering and was like, "You getting me this?"
right. It's coming to the house for sure.
Okay. Good morning. What was the vibe like in the city for the Dream versus the Fever?
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I didn't know that they was playing,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't go to the city.
but it was a sold out crowd, like completely sold out,
hmm
and that's good.
Yeah, I didn't look at anything associated with anything
Good morning, Monica.
um
I
for that
actually,
game.
I actually been looking at the Olympic trials. Like,
Yeah, Tommy's a big track and field guy.
yeah, I love it, and the Olympics. So there's that.
Oh,
I
I know
showed
your
Lily.
uncle is gonna have a
I
time.
know he is.
Tommy's uncle is going to the Olympics this year.
I know he is. I showed Lily. I think her name is Simone Manuel. She's a
hmm
swimmer. She's a black woman
hmm
swimmer.
hmm
Lily got into it.
Yeah, because she swims, so
Yeah.
she understands it.
I was like, look at Lily. Uh-oh. Might be having to do swim meets.
Good morning, Monica. No, that the place that she does her swim lessons, once you graduate to a certain point, they have swim teams and
Yeah.
swim meets. I don't know who they meet against because right now it seems like they are still very small because they're the newest
Yeah.
of the locations. So I don't know if the swim meets are against other kids in our location
Hmm.
or if they're going around the city and swimming against the kids that are in other locations.
It's probably against the other teams. Like it's set up like probably like AAU.
hmm
And it's just other teams like set up like that.
I don't know.
Like little league football. It's probably set up that way and
Yeah,
just do your thing, man.
I don't know. I don't really know people that swim
Yeah, this is like
outside of her swim instructors.
everybody I talk to about swim lessons
Uh huh.
say they did their way of swim or how they learned
Was
to swim
traumatic.
was how I learned to swim.
Threw you in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and don't drown.
hmm This generation of parents is like, no, we're not gonna do it like that. Because
Yeah.
I have a few friends specifically in the age mom group from Lily
Hmm.
who are all putting their kids in swim.
Well, the thing for me is um I'm not afraid to jump in a pool of water. I think I can survive.
hmm
But for my kids, both of their birthdays is in the summertime, and both of them can say, "Hey, I want a pool party for my birthday."
hmm
My thinking is, I need you to be able to swim so well that you can. If somebody came to your party, Like, let's say your best friend can't swim. Your best friend is gonna come to your party.
Mhm.
You need to be able to jump in and save that best friend if something, Lord forbid, something to happen.
Mhm.
So you have to be confident enough to be like, all right, I'm finna jump in and get my friend.
Yeah.
Because it's your responsibility for safety too.
Yeah.
You know, or at least that's what I want to teach them. Um,
Mhm. You done jump from swim to lifeguard.
yep, like essentially, yes.
I know.
I want you to be able to be like, if it came around to it, you needed a job, go be a lifeguard.
Mhm.
You know, because your birthdays are in the summer. That's something I didn't have to deal with. Like I
But
knew
your
for
birthday is definitely not warm
yeah,
unless we leave.
right. And growing up, I wasn't leaving nowhere.
I know.
So
And I mean, we gotta go south.
yeah, but yeah. So you know,
Mine, the pool's not open, but it's hit or miss on warmth.
yeah. But if you went on vacation, you know,
Yeah.
you could probably go swimming at the hotel. Um, the Fever actually won that game, man. 91-79.
You should be paying more attention to the fever for
Wow.
one reason alone.
Wow.
Ain't that where your cousin's
Uh-uh.
wife? No, not the
Atlanta.
fever. She plays for Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because they do live here now. Where was she at first? They were in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they
Um,
married yet?
they get married
It's next month.
whenever they go to Jamaica.
It's next month.
Yeah. I don't know. Um, I don't know how much lifeguards make, but it's a job. If they anything like me, they don't want to. They ain't gonna want to work at a restaurant, fast food, grocery store. Nothing around food is gonna interest them. So,
I never
um,
even thought about applying at a grocery store.
it was right across the street. I
It
needed to.
makes sense why you
Yeah.
worked at a grocery store, but I never thought about. I applied at a grocery store once because my coworker she worked part time with me at my full time job,
Yeah.
and she needed somebody to help her at her full time job part time.
You ever applied to a job and instantly was like, man, I don't want this job.
That was me and her with this, and it wasn't because it was she worked at Kroger and she was the manager of the Starbucks. And she was like, I just need somebody that'll work whatever the shift was
Hmm.
weekly. She was like, I can't keep nobody in that slot.
Yeah.
Everybody always calls out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like Saturday night or something. It was just like some random day of the week. And when I went in, she told me how much she could get me. And when I went in, they was talking about minimum wage. I was like, that wasn't what was discussed. So for that, I am out.
Yeah. Like minimum wage.
Nah.
What
And
in
I was
the
only gonna be working there like one night a week, 3 or 4 hours just to close the Starbucks.
yeah.
But it was just like, nah. And the only reason she was asking me was because I had worked at Starbucks and Target, so she wouldn't
Hmm.
have to train me on drinks.
Mm.
So it was just one of those things. But yeah, when they told me to pay, I was like, that's not what was discussed. And the person looked at me like, well, I don't know who told you that. I was like, well, I'm gonna save y'all some time.
I'm out.
I'm gonna head out
I'm gonna head on out.
and we'll be good for this. And when I got there, she was like, they offered you how much? I can't, but she was like, that's why won't nobody stay. I was like, that is precisely the reason nobody is staying. Because y'all
Hmm.
offering minimum wage. And you talking about far more than minimum wage.
Yeah. Yeah. What what's the most extravagant way you quit? Like, you know how people be quitting jobs and they be like,
In college, I had a job and I told them before I got the job that I was an Ignite team leader.
yeah.
And with my Ignite team leading, I had to teach a first year studies class for
Mm-hmm.
incoming freshmen. So when I got the job, the hiring manager told me to write down the days and times that I was unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote that. I was like, I intern these days. I only intern 2 days a week.
Yeah.
So I was like, I intern these days. Um, this is my class schedule. And these are the days that I have meetings
Hmm.
for Ignite and Leadership Guides because I was the chair in both of those,
Yeah.
right? The only time she scheduled me was during the times that I had something else to do.
Hmm.
Like, it would be like, I would say, I cannot work on Tuesday nights or Thursday nights. Every week I was scheduled Tuesday and Thursday. And then she would be like, we need to discuss why you're not coming in for your scheduled shifts. So I wrote a note that says, since you're not checking the my availability and the days that I have scheduled off, I am resigning. And I put it in the time off request box because I knew she wasn't checking the time off request box.
Hmm.
She checked it like 2 weeks later and called me.
Mm.
I was like, bruh, we're done.
Yeah. You're done.
But I didn't come back to work after that.
Man,
I don't think that's extravagant, but that was just one of those
let me
things
tell
that
you,
pissed me
man.
off.
I think I was 16 or 7. I think I was 17 or turning 17.
Mhm.
And I was working that food line. And it was just this one manager that me and her did not like each other.
Mhm.
Like, I ain't gonna say we didn't like each other. I just didn't like the way that she talked to people.
Mhm.
Right. And
Did she know
so,
your family?
uh-uh.
No. Okay.
But she knew who they were because
Mhm.
like went to that grocery store.
No, I get that. I was just asking if it was like I don't like you because I don't like your auntie
No, 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 no,
or
no, no,
something like that.
no, no, nothing like that. And so, I had just got back, because I broke my leg that summer,
Mhm.
and I had just started working back there again,
Mhm.
because you know leg had to heal and all this stuff.
Mhm.
And so, man, she said something, and we were like arguing, like going back and forth. The other manager, the nice one,
Mhm.
real quiet manager, and she was cool. She was like, "Hey, what y'all doing? Calm down,
Mhm.
and stuff like that." And I was bagging like some groceries, and she said something to me. I was like, "Look, man, I ain't taking this no more. I'm out." Just left. I got home. I was like, "Man, I need a job."
Shouldn't have quit that job
Shouldn't
without
have quit
having
that
another
job
job.
without another one. But then, a few weeks later, I went to, like, we was just in class one day, and a friend of mine, she was like, "We hiring." I was like, "Who you work for?" She was like, "Marshalls," and it was a wrap after that. Man, I used to come in with like clothes I done picked out and everything. Man, that's how I stayed out of uniform. I would just dress up.
That's not gonna work for living.
Nah, nah. Man, but it was so funny to me quitting like that because of anger. And now I've gotten smarter when I quit my job and stuff like that. But it was a very spontaneous thing.
You be like, and I got another.
Yeah. I tell people now, it's like when I plan to leave, it's a celebration. Don't just sneak me out the back door. You ain't sneak me out the back door when I came in. Unless I get fired, then you sneak me out the back door. But if I leave, let's celebrate this thing, man.
Mhm.
Cause y'all gonna miss me.
The last few jobs that I've quit, it's always been like a series of people quitting.
Yeah,
And I would just be somewhere grouped up in the series of people.
yeah.
It would be like, I remember one job I quit every 2 weeks, a manager was leaving.
That's just not a good look for the employees, man.
It's not.
Like
It
you're,
was and it wasn't anything that we had discussed. It was like the first manager that was leaving didn't tell anybody until it was her last day. Like the manager of the store kept it hush hush.
yeah.
And then like on that lady's last day, one of the other girls put in her 2 week notice. A week into her 2 week notice, I had gotten another job and put in my 2 week notice. So we was just all kind of like, I don't know what you want me
I'm
to do, but
I'm out.
we're all
Peace.
leaving.
Peace.
Anywho, Enough about us.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into it. You got the list, don't
You have it too. It's in your Google Drive.
you? What we talking about today?
You already talked about the Celtics winning.
I ain't finished talking about the Celtics winning, man. So I knew at the end of the half that we had this one in the bag because of Pritchard making that half court shot and
Mm.
it counting. I was like, yeah, it's game time. Like that is one deflating shot,
Mm-hmm.
especially on a big stage like that. You know, they were already getting beaten. Then that goes in. I'm like, yeah, man, ain't no coming back from that. We hot. We are hitting on all cylinders at this point. Um, we actually was talking about JJ Redick earlier, me and the guys. JJ
I'm
Redick
gonna say
is a
we weren't.
no, not us, but me and the guys. JJ Redick is a that's your son, I think. JJ Redick was a basketball player. Um, Now he's apparently the Lakers head coach. And my question was, would he have to have any experience coaching? So he he's getting paid from the Lakers to be the head coach, and he was the announcer for the finals. He has a podcast with LeBron, and he was a sports analyst too
Hmm.
on ESPN. So I mean, he's been working in the field and everything. But I that was my big question for him. Like, usually for qualification of that magnitude, they get like assistant coaches or you know. Um, what somebody said to me was where Eric Spoelstra come from. Man, I don't know.
JJ Riddick is a
Yep,
joke of a hire.
that's what. And it's not saying that Sam Cassell is not uh qualified. He's a champion, so it's just a matter of. I just thought like in order for you to become a CPA, you
Hmm.
have to have so many hours of work experience.
Hmm.
You have to have so many hours of credits, and stuff like that. And you got to pass the test.
He's from Cookville.
Who? JJ
JJ
Redick?
Riddick.
Yeah. He went to Duke.
I know that, but
Oh,
I like to know where people are from.
yeah. You from the West Coast. That's a question they be asking. Where you from? Anyway, um,
Where'd you go to high school?
where your mama stay, where your daddy stay, where your grandma stay.
Anywho,
But yeah, so it was. I was just looking at that hire, and I was like, LeBron finna be coaching this team.
you think so?
Yeah, like he gonna have a lot of input on what they do. Which I mean, like having LeBron on your team, him having the experience and the IQ that he has, his opinion, me as coach, his opinion will be valued
Hmm.
because he's able to see the floor from a different perspective.
Hmm.
But it's still my team. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? LeBron's gonna be like, "Hey, this is what we're doing." JJ Redick, yep. All right, that's what we're gonna. But for me, it's because he doesn't have anything to prove himself. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? To say, "Hey, you're gonna be a good coach."
Yeah.
All these assistant coaches in the league that probably would love for the opportunity, and that's big time. Go ahead and put it on. Huh? You just need help. Oh, okay.
So we have become the parents from the detergent commercial because Lily is wearing princess dresses and Halloween costumes every day.
You open your brother's door. Did you open your brother's door?
He in her room.
Okay. Um. Well, first thing on our list, man. 15-year-old runs away and has a diss track towards his grandmother. Do you have that article? Because he's reported as missing. I don't know where they were at.
I'm pulling it up now.
But he was reported as missing. Turn around, let me button. And um,
Lily is definitely in her princess era. Um, I'm it's a lot of princess dresses and my mama just keeps buying them. He was in Columbus,
Okay.
Georgia.
I knew it was Georgia, but I ain't know where. All
Um
right, buddy. Go ahead. You look pretty. You welcome.
15 years old.
You was apparently in the studio.
His grandmother wasn't certain of his whereabouts. She reported him missing to the police department. And when he was found, he wasn't happy. He went to the stew
Made a diss
and
track.
made a diss track against his grandma. Um,
Now, my mama called me ungrateful a lot growing up. I never figured out why. Because I thought I was being very grateful for the things that
you
she.
know what I've come to resolve with ungratefulness, or what parents perceive to be ungratefulness, is kids don't have a vantage point of your plight as a parent,
Yeah,
or not even just as a parent, as an adult.
yeah,
All the things that you're going through on a day-to-day basis,
yeah,
and they're still like, well, you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z. Because, as an example, we ran out of something recently, and Lily was just like, why can't you just go to the store and get some more?
yeah, yeah.
And that's child logic.
Right, right.
Like, not that the store that has this is 30 minutes away. That means I gotta pack you and your brother up
Yeah,
and drive y'all 30 minutes. Spend the money once I get there and then drive back 30 minutes. I don't want to deal with all that right now.
right, right.
But it can be looked at as being, you need to be grateful that we got something in there, which I won't use those words or that language with the kids, but that's usually where the perception of ungratefulness comes from.
Yeah. So I was called ungrateful a lot
Okay.
growing up, but I didn't reach this level of ungratefulness. First off, your grandma is who is taking care of you.
Hmm.
So
She
that
ain't have to do it
she didn't have to.
because she the grandma.
She didn't have you.
Right.
Didn't have no nothing.
She had the person that had you.
Right. She did her job.
Hmm.
Right. It's questionable, like where the mom is, because I don't think they mentioned that. Um, but like it's if you and you bring up the child's logic in the whole thing, you're like, yeah, but it's also a thing of we don't tell children, which I don't think we should, the ins and outs. We just slowly give them more and more responsibilities. And then by the time that they're old enough to have their own, they can stand on their own 2 feet,
Hmm.
and they realize it. Like at my big age of 37, it's like my parents at 37, we were living with my grandmother, but
Hmm.
my mom was going through chemo and
Hmm.
all that stuff. And doing the best that they could was a understatement,
Hmm.
or doing the best that she could. My dad, on the other hand, you know,
What
different
Emmanuel
sort.
say? Shaky.
Yeah, she a little shaky, a little shaky. But they did the best that they could, and then at 37, you understand that, you realize that, and you want to say thank you.
Hmm.
Hey, I appreciate you doing your best.
Hmm.
Giving me a baseline to go with, right?
So his grandmother has custody of 4 kids. Him and his
Oh,
three
really?
him and his three siblings. His
You talking
mother
about
is
ungrateful?
his mother is absent. Don't really know what happened with the dad, but um grandma got custody of 4 kids. Grandma had a stroke,
Mm. And this dude made a diss
and
track
he had her making a diss track.
about his grandma. What if she made one back off the
Mm.
BBL jersey? Beat BBL jersey.
It said one of the relatives said he ran away after Easter because he wanted to be grown and have young girls sleeping over, and grandma wasn't having it.
How old is this kid?
He's 15.
15-year-old. That's the thing. I you know, that's crazy, man. At 15, I ain't want. Girls, I like girls, but I ain't want them sleeping over.
It wasn't a conversation that they was gonna be able
Damn,
to sleep
I
over.
just made eye contact with Quad.
Your fault.
Yeah, he's still looking at me. God, dog. And I can't ask you to look up there because
uh-uh.
he's
I
man.
don't see him anyways.
I do,
That's on you.
and he's
Anywho, continue what you were saying.
uh I don't forgot. Dang, man. So she had
15 years old girl
15.
sleeping
Yeah,
over.
I didn't want girls sleeping over. At 15 years old, I didn't even. To me, that was not real. That
Mm-mm,
wasn't a real possibility,
mm-mm.
and wasn't gonna try it.
You're the first guy that ever slept over my mama's house.
Mm.
For me,
Oh, as a grown man, it's just not the first.
obviously.
Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't want to respect her house, he can stay missing. He can go wherever these little girls, because if they mama's letting them spend the night,
Yeah.
he can go spend the night over there and just
Where
live there.
my question is, the focus he made on making this diss track about his grandmother for being a part of his life. Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Doug.
Jada.
Uh, where you get the time?
That's what he did when he was missing.
where
Or he
you
went missing again.
where you get the time to write this, record this, and then it's like you put it out too. Then you wanna have these folks at her house.
The siblings didn't know where he was. Because
Apparently not.
usually you got one sibling.
Yeah, that's what I asked my mom. Like what do y'all talk to each other? But no, it's man,
She was
it's
really mad at your uncle yesterday. Or whatever
was
day I
she
talked to her on the
was
phone.
she? I
Yeah.
think that's so
She was
funny.
just like, it's hot outside.
Man, but I think man, when it comes to you hear this story and you're like, this woman is doing the best that she can.
hmm
What's wrong? Well, like you have food to eat, a house to live in. You know, it may not be ideal, but it's not forever.
hmm
You know, it's do what you got to do until you can get on your own 2 feet, and figure this thing out.
You got a while before your own 2 feet kick in if you 15.
Right. And the thing about 15-year-old girls, when I was 15, they were good looking. But when they was 23, they was fine. You know what I'm saying? They get better with time, man. Like she cute and all right now, but just wait on it. I told somebody the other day, man.
Well, you know, at 15, you don't have the vantage point to just wait on it.
Right. You know why people? Why you think like so many kids be in love with their fine teacher? She be about 26, 27 years old, or he be about 26, 27. It lose their mind. But I told somebody the other day, man, the 26-year-old Artika has nothing on the 37-year-old Artika. I was like, man, my wife is bad. And she got better with time. Man, I was like, damn, I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is awkward.
Is it
uh-uh.
awkward when I talk about you?
Yep,
Oh, you might as well get up. I talk about you a lot, good and bad.
I know you do,
Yeah,
especially the bad.
and the good.
I
You
know.
just don't hear the good. You hear the bad now.
We had a couple of young teachers. We actually had one young teacher. I think I told the story on here about how a girl wrote in her diary about all the things she wanted to do with him.
And got him fired.
He didn't get fired.
I read a book about that.
He didn't get fired, but he ended up. He wasn't even. Was he? I think he was a sub.
Yeah,
And after the investigation, it was like nothing happened. Like they don't even know each other. Like he literally does not know this girl exists.
yeah.
But her mama found it and reported it to the school.
Mm. No, I mean, like we had old teachers too, but we had a lot of young teachers because I went to a school. What is it called? They put a lot of first year
hmm
teachers there. Like they'll go through a practice round, so it'll be two teachers in the class
Oh,
sometimes.
like student teaching and stuff.
Yeah. They had some of that, and then some of the teachers would come graduating then first year teaching.
Hmm.
Uh, grown fine. It gets better with time, man. You said a word there, buddy.
I couldn't. First off, never could be a teacher. That's especially not like at middle school, high school age. Them kids would get on my nerves. In
Yeah,
elementary school, it's just too much freeing going on.
it's too much just movement. At like,
You were not there during the end of the preschool
yeah, nah,
thing. It was just they played musical chairs with the kids because it was so much moving before we got started.
yeah,
And I was like, good God, just make them be still.
they can't, man. They
This is the
cannot.
slowest I've
It
ever
is.
seen him.
I'm trying to figure out what he doing, what he got in his hand.
Anywho, go ahead.
But yeah, man, it's like, bro, just hold your horses, be good to your family, so they can be good to you, and then by the time you get of age, make something happen, make something shake.
The fact that he ran and then was like, get on the ground and crawl.
What? Y'all, quiet is into the building. He is up and he's
Yes, you are down.
yeah. But it's just, man, you see that and you're like, dog, man, just bro, just get it together, man. Just go home, do what you gotta do, go to school, go like have a plan of something.
Hmm.
Because we know what it is, but that's gonna come. That's gonna come, man. But do what you gotta do now, man, to ensure that you don't ruin relationships.
Hmm.
What's up? Man, you was sleeping good, dude.
He got drool.
Yeah.
Did
Um,
they get to see Quad's haircut last week?
I don't. Yeah, he
Oh,
was in
okay.
the video.
I couldn't remember.
He was in the video. You
I
probably
think you
need.
might stink.
Yeah, I think he does. My yeah. Them shorts too big for him, man. Oh, is it? Oh. Um. Well, yeah, man. That kid needs to get it together and figure out life. Living with his grandmother. I wonder how long he's been with her, and like, has this been a continuous problem? That's the blueberries coming out. But we know that those teenage years can be hard, especially when dealing with an absent parent. Yeah, they can be, but they don't have to be. You know, it's kind of like up to the kid, to really see what's going on, and that's that balance of allowing the kid to be a kid, but also not lying to a kid. Or expressing the truth to a kid, in a way that it'll be, your kids. So, um, do you have an article for this next one, or we just the Seattle coffee shop owner? Where'd you send it to me on? So apparently this week, a coffee shop owner bust out a window of her customer's car with a hammer after he threw his $22 order at her. What's up? What's wrong? What's wrong with it? You want me to kiss it? Mwah. Okay, go ahead. Well, you got slime on your ear, man. On your lobe, on the other one. Yeah, yeah. I don't. Come here, man. She like, where? Turn this way. Look. No, look. Yeah. So yeah, coffee shop owner bashes customers' windshield after he threw his $22 coffee order at her. Now, apparently, the reason why he threw this order was because he was complaining about the price of it. And so she leaned out the window and cracked his windshield. What's up, man? Okay, go ahead. Look, I'm sitting up here trying to talk, and he just crawling in my lap. Dad, all in the mic. What? Man, that's a bad idea. He gonna eat them, but there's gonna be pieces on the floor too. But yeah, so he threw coffee at her. I don't know if he complained or whatnot, but she actually started from the bottom. She started working at this shop and then, became an owner of the shop. Um and her reaction was to be like, nah, you ain't finna throw this at me. And she busts his windshield. I don't know where the entitlement comes from. Keeps that hammer right there.
I just when I watched the video, the first thing that I saw was, I mean, that I thought was, how come you just had a hammer right there?
That never came in my mind.
Because okay, obviously, I worked at Target in the Starbucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing, even if somebody was fixing something. Good morning, D.
Good
Even
morning,
if
D.
somebody was fixing something,
Yeah,
that I would just think, oh, there's gonna be a hammer right there.
yeah.
And it was like, throw the coffee. Hammer.
I don't know. She take whatever. You gotta throw something back.
My thought though is like, when you ordered this before you got to the window, you should have rationalized within yourself that I'm not gonna pay $22 for this.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to understand why'd you pay $22 for coffee, and
He
that
did
was
it a
the
few
issue.
times. Oh, that's why she had that hammer. She was ready for him.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
But like for me,
I would have banned him. He can't come there no more.
well, I mean, what's gonna stop him?
I don't know. I wouldn't serve him. I take his picture. This man can't come up here.
Well, now he is technically banned, like lawfully,
Yeah.
because of that.
I
But
If the pricing is too high, if my customer service, like if you don't got to smile at me, but if you don't like are willing to help me, because
Mhm,
I'm not coming in being mean. I'm not coming in. I just have something to do that I need to get. If I can't find it on my own, just know I've done everything I possibly can to not talk to you
mhm,
when I go in the store. And if I have to ask you something, please don't be mean.
mhm.
'Cause I will stop going to that store.
I agree. I agree. But like for me, before I go to a place that I've never been before to get a drink, to get some food, whatever it may be, the very first thing I'm going to do is look at the menu,
Yeah.
because looking at the menu tells me if I even want to go there, because it doesn't matter what the price is. If you sell something that I don't want, I'm not going.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're there and you see the pricing of things, that's be like, nah, that ain't what we doing today.
Right.
That's just like, you can't expect to go to like Fogo de Chao and spend Chili's money.
Yeah. I mean, you can, but you ain't gonna get a lot.
It's just not gonna happen.
Like my thing is,
You gonna
man,
get some sides.
you know the you know the pricing of stuff before most of the time. You know the pricing of stuff before you get there.
Mhm,
Just make an executive decision.
mhm,
This is her pricing. Like how am I fight you off of something that you said?
mhm. I remember one time Tommy and I were invited out with some family members to a restaurant, and we was both like, all right, so based on the prices on these menus, we're getting appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
And the appetizers was still like $30.
Hmm.
But it was just one of those
And
things.
we sharing it.
It was one of those things where we assessed it because I don't want to go into a place and be blindsided
Yeah.
by how much something is going to cost.
Well, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of you don't know my bills.
Not even just you don't know my bills. I know my bills.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, hey man, I know what I gotta pay.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna make a decision on if I just want to go and hang out with you,
Hmm.
I'll just eat before I get there
Hmm. Get a drink.
and get a drink, have good conversation. I've done that plenty of times.
Hmm.
Be like, hey man, I ain't finna eat nothing.
That's always a thing, especially when you like people come in town to visit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first off, I already don't want to fight Atlanta traffic, but
Yeah.
I want to see you.
Yeah.
So I'm not finna be double, triple inconvenienced off of visiting you.
Now another thing is if you offer to pay for
Hmm.
it,
Sometimes, even if you offer to pay for it, my answer is no, I'm not coming.
yeah. But it's
In those moments, it's literally not about the
yeah.
money.
But like, it's for me, I'm always thinking of this food is overpriced and I wonder can I make it?
Hmm.
Type of deal. And I'm paying for the convenience and also for the conversation.
Hmm.
Um it's things that you have to do. And the one thing I hope people don't do is judge a person based off of what they order, what they eat, if they come out with you. You know what I'm
Like we were
saying?
talking about Asia with the chicken tenders.
What did we say about that?
We were talking about taking somebody out to eat,
And they
and they
order
they
chicken
picked the
tenders.
chicken
Yeah.
tenders, and you're like, this restaurant is known for steak, and they be like, chicken tender
Let me
me.
get some chicken tenders. And the only time that you judge them is because they palate is childish.
And
Um,
that's the
because
reason we got on that subject. We was talking about the farmers market and how like there's so much different stuff to
yeah,
try that you've
yeah,
never had before, and you be like, then you get ready to go around your family, and they be like, oh, this what you eat now?
right, right. You like, bro, like try it, man. Like calamari, fried
Hmm.
calamari,
Yeah.
man. Who was it? My mama.
Hmm. She had it, liked it, and then found out what it was.
Yeah, they was like yuck.
Cause me and Lexi was tearing it up on that end of the
Man,
table.
me too. Me too. If you order chicken at us, most of the time I'm gonna order some chicken, man.
But
I
you're
ain't
not
a,
ordering chicken tenders.
nah.
Cause
I
you
don't eat chicken
you
tenders.
be wearing out that Parmesan crusty
Oh
chicken.
man, I love it. I love it. It's good. Got enough cheese on it. Give me some good vegetables. I'm good to go. Two vegetables at that. I need two sides and a meat. That is the basis of a meal.
My mama made what did she make?
I'd have accepted some spaghetti that
Oh, my mama
time.
made beans.
Love you,
And
mama.
then my dad went and got some chicken. And she was like, this what we eating. He was like, ain't no more vegetables.
I
She
want
was like, some cornbread
I
in there.
want two sides and a meat. That is the basic line of a meal to me. To me.
He in a backward kangaroo hat. He got the price before he got the coffee and before he paid. I would have canceled before I got to the window. I wonder if it was the topless coffee place.
Nah, she had a top on.
Nah, yeah, she had on a shirt when she threw that.
They got a topless coffee.
I think it's one in Seattle.
Is it?
Um, you know, Seattle is like the coffee place because of Starbucks.
Oh yeah. I didn't know. I want to go to Seattle, not because of topless coffee, but I definitely would go in there. But just because Seattle is like the techie
Hmm.
thing, like
Yeah,
Amazon started there too, right?
I think so.
Like they have the stores where you just walk in. I told you about that Whole Foods.
What
That
about
you can either do your
it?
your finger or your wrist or something. They
Hmm.
scan you
Hmm.
You just walk out the store.
Yeah, there is
I don't know how that works. I'm intrigued like
there
crazy.
is one, or they have I think four of them at this point, but they're still in the pilot
Yeah.
level of Whole Foods that when you put the items into the basket, it automatically calculates the pricing for you.
Oh.
So when you get ready to go, you just literally pay at your cart.
Oh, I got you.
And speaking of Whole Foods, I still laugh because that is one of the things that has changed the most about you is your grocery shopping experiences.
Yeah, now my grocery shopping is going to my phone
No, no,
and
no.
texting Artiga, hey man, we need
No, but I'm saying even when you go to stores, because back in like that banana thing when we were in Chattanooga, you you was like, I'm going to Whole Foods or Sprouts, one of the two. Which one did you go to? Whole Foods?
Yeah.
Went to Whole Foods to get some bananas. I was like, I remember a day when he would be like, that's too high. I'm going to Walmart.
Yeah, I don't like Walmart tried to take some money
It was
from me,
like
so I don't
$2,000.
yeah, I don't shop at Walmart no
Hubert
more.
said Seattle is beautiful. The mountains are right on the fear. University of Washington's campus is amazing.
And sisters in Seattle. Good luck.
Seattle just doesn't strike
They
me
don't
as
have
a.
a lot of black people in Seattle.
Uh-uh. Regina went to college in Seattle.
Did she?
Yeah,
Um, I could see
which it
that.
was nowhere to go because they were living in Alaska. So
Yeah.
you got to come to mainland.
So this is so after reading Hubert's comment, in my mind, I was
Mhm.
like, man, I like snow bunnies. Then I thought about that book. What's the name of that book?
I don't
I gotta
remember.
teach my son about snow bunnies or something like that.
Let me see. Because I texted to Crystal.
What's that? The hot tour girl.
I don't know what you're talking
You ain't
about.
seen that video?
Mm.
Yes, you have. She's like they've made hats,
Stay
t-shirts,
away from sneaky snow bunnies.
sneaky snow bunny. Stay away.
Didn't it come out that Amazon's in-store AI was fake? I
Oh,
thought I
I
read
don't
an
know. I
article.
thought that was real.
We have one in Pontiac, Michigan. You pull up, watch the breast and get the coffee, I guess, then complain after you get the coffee.
Hubert is funny, man. What I called myself the other day? BMW? No, BMB or BMM or something like that. No, BBM.
Yeah, big body man.
No, big black man.
Big black man. He was like, you got you a BBM. I'm like, what?
BBL Drizzy.
It was because it was so hot outside.
Yeah.
And he was like, why y'all keep wanting to do stuff outside? And the stuff that he was talking about was go outside to get in the car. It was like the places that we were trying to go were definitely inside. But he was like, well, y'all keep wanting to go outside. I'm like, to leave where we are, we must get in a car.
uh okay, please, man. Hubert, I'd say, man, just be open to the conversation
Try it out.
and see what happens, man. You never know, brother. You never know. Um, speaking of this is random. It's something I just thought about.
Mhm.
Um, dating outside your race. Have you ever did that? Have you ever wanted to?
Never thought about it.
Yeah,
The only white guys I feel like that liked me
I
were
said out of your race.
I
Don't
said that.
necessarily have to be
No,
white.
it's never been anybody other than white
Oh,
guys. But the only white guys that ever liked me, all their friends was black.
yeah.
And I was just like, I really I don't like you in particular.
I don't think you're
It's not that I didn't think that they were handsome or anything like that. It's just nah.
um
Like I remember at one point this guy named Paul tried to talk to me. It's a white guy, but he had a grill. I was like, I don't date black dudes with grills.
like
So
Paul Wall.
I mean, he wasn't
It's
Paul
Paul
Wall,
Wall, baby.
but it was. I don't. You know
No,
what's
not
funny about
necessarily.
being at
I
UT?
went to UT.
And being at UT, I don't feel like there was a outside of the classroom, there wasn't really a ton of interaction with white people.
I had a lot of interaction with white people. I had more interaction with black people.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't a ton of it.
Yeah, it's like the black guys or the black people that hung around like big groups of white people. I looked at them as weird or different until I got to know them, and like my idea of people
Hmm.
started to change, you know, and it's a discrimination
Hmm.
that I grew up having.
Like I like to think that. Well, I don't want to say I like to think that we didn't live in the blackest dorm,
Yeah,
but we also didn't live in the whitest
yeah.
dorms.
Our you think of it as we lived in a black neighborhood,
Hmm.
but we had better amenities. You know what I'm saying? Like if you stay in an apartment and instead of having like an apartment with no um no washing and dryer hookup,
Hmm.
but they had a big laundromat down the street, we
Hmm.
had washing and dryer hookup.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
like
we had newer appliances, stainless steel appliances where they had white refrigerators. Not that that's the difference in the apartment complex
so like
or the dorm.
our dorm that we lived in our freshman year, my roommate and suite mates were white, but overwhelmingly the rest of my floor was pretty much
Yeah,
black.
yeah.
Um
Everybody around me was white too.
yeah.
But then everybody in the dorm was like majority. They were the minority in the dorm.
Yeah. But my floor
Yeah,
was very white.
yeah.
Um
Yeah.
or my floor was mixed, I should say.
Yeah,
Because there was like an Asian girl on the other end of the floor, or was a Hispanic girl on the other end. It was a lot going on in our dorm. But the end that I lived on was the quiet end. That's where the white girls live.
yeah.
And I was the only black girl in my suite.
Man, I remember one time, and shout out to Chris. I know he probably not watching this, but
Which Chris?
my old roommate,
Oh,
man, I had
you have to ask which Chris because
yeah,
it's a bunch of
it's a bunch
Chris's.
of Chris's. I had it was about 8 girls in my room.
Hmm.
All of us just kicking it. We all on my bed watching TV and stuff like that. Chris walks in.
Hmm.
Like I don't know what Chris came back from doing, but he
Hmm.
walks in, face turns red, eyes get real big, mouth opens,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just laying on the bed like this is normal behavior.
Mhm,
Like bunch of girls in here,
mhm,
me watching TV,
mhm.
and he just like, hey. So the funniest thing, I was like, Chris, this is like just start introducing them to everybody,
Mhm,
and they like all just welcomed him over, and we just hung out. That's it, and that's usually what would happen.
mhm,
Like Chris would come in, somebody's in there, and he come to my side, we just hang
mhm.
out. But it's just funny to see his reaction to it because I thought he was going. Usually he'll leave because his mom had moved, like they came from California. Mom moved to Knoxville. They still there.
Mm.
Um so it's like it's like, man, you see all that and then you can
I don't think Hubert got a
I
nickname.
don't know. I always call him Hubert.
Yeah, it's pretty much been it for me.
Yeah. Somebody could call him Huey, but that's childish.
No.
Anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that. Uh but yeah, man, just to see his reaction and then all these black women too now.
Of course.
Just to see his reaction to come in, it was just funny.
Mhm.
I don't know how I got there or why I even brought that story up,
Mm.
but
Speaking of white people in college, I watched a video last night of a black girl whose mom is an AK.
mm,
She went to Bama, the
mm,
daughter, and decided that she was going to rush like do a Panhellenic
Mm-hmm.
sorority instead of doing the legacy for AKA. And all of this happened because she got into one of the, I don't know if it was on Facebook specifically, but remember how before we went to school, we got on Facebook and started meeting people
Yeah.
that were incoming with us. um, because everybody was talking about if you do rush, you can move in a week early. And so she decided that she was going to, that's that fly. She was going to do rush and move in early.
Cute.
Um, and she was like, she used her mama's credit card to pay for it early. And the reason her mama found out is because the charge on the credit card bill was Panhellenic.
Uh,
And I was like,
her mom was pissed about that one.
she said her mom wasn't pissed, but her mom definitely like tried to sit down with her and have a conversation
Yeah.
about the differences
Yeah.
in the sororities.
Yeah.
And I used to work in Panhellenic. And during Rush, there are literally no black people.
Yeah.
Like I think there was one
That
black
was
girl
that
in
was
there
the
during Rush.
freshman year. That was the weirdest thing I had ever seen in my life.
With Rush,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see
'Cause
that.
I didn't understand. I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these girls are dressed up the same and the boys are dressed up, And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, where are these white people going? Is it a.
Is it a secret white meeting?
Yeah, right, right, right. That's literally what I thought. I was like, oh, because freshmen like had never seen anything like this before, never even heard of it.
And Panhellenic, the week of Rush, because they do a fall rush and a spring rush.
Yeah,
Panhellenic is open 24/7,
yeah,
like whole 2 weeks
yeah.
of Rush.
Man, you see all these white people migrating to like
And
just going in one direction, man. That
it
was
be
one of the.
so loud in there. I just be like, all right, just get me through the rest of this shift.
If you didn't feel like you were at a safe college, you'll be scared.
And it's funny because I have a few shirts from that time of working
Yeah.
because they always gave us in the office shirts. So people will see my shirts and be like, "What did you pledge?" I'll be like, "What? Nothing." Because it literally has every sorority at the school, like
Yeah,
black and white
yeah,
letters on the back of them.
yeah.
And or like you'll say like better together or something like that. And I'm like, girl, I went in none of this stuff.
Man, that's hilarious, man. So let's get to it. This last thing I want to talk about, and then we're gonna get on out of here
I yes, we hit the
because
hour
it's
mark.
it's Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick Lamar threw a concert.
Ken and friends.
Ken and Friends, the pop out concert. Few questions come up,
Mm-hmm.
but overall, great concert.
Mm-hmm.
It showed unity. Um, it showed the artists, some of the artists that I would not have heard of, listened to, anything like that from the West Coast.
I'm
Um,
laughing because I was like, when I was telling you about it, because I watched it before Tommy did.
yeah,
I was like, now who is this? You know him? And I never felt more auntie.
yeah. I was like, it was some of them that I was like, but the crowd was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was some of them I was like, man, this is the best outside of Kendrick. The best ones was YG when he came out.
And what song did YG do?
He was with DJ Mustard. Like he was the last one with DJ Mustard.
Oh, I skipped through that. I waited. Like I started
Mm.
watching and then I was like, where is Kendrick?
Yeah,
Because I started watching this at 3 o'clock in the morning,
yeah,
obviously, or 4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I watched the whole thing.
mm-hmm.
No skips.
I was like, four
No
hours.
skips even when they was like changing the stage.
Yeah, I was like, 4 hours. I'm not gonna make it.
Uh
Mm-mm.
it took me all day though.
It
Finally
did
finished.
because when I got off work, you was still watching.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I forgot about it too. But no, overall, great concert, man. It was a great turnout. It was live. And PG Lang is something that I wanted you to look at because it's a creative thing that him and Dave Free started together. It started in like 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted you to look
You
at
said PG Lang.
yeah. Um,
8 short films written and directed by Dave Free.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so people will start looking these artists up. But Ray Vaughn
Me.
was
Because I was
another
like,
artist.
sorry to this man.
Ray Vaughn was an artist. They had some girls out there that I had heard of, but
I did see the girls, but I didn't know who they were.
yeah, I didn't listen to them. I can't remember the name of this
The
one guy.
the tone of their voices.
Was irritating to me,
Yes, that's why I was like, "Oh,
and it's
girls
like
rapping."
I couldn't hear them that well or
I was
something
like,
like that.
"Girls rapping." Oh, no.
When Kendrick Lamar brought out Schoolboy Q, J Rock, I like J Rock, and you like J Rock.
Which J Rock
J
song do I
Rock
know?
song is Money Trees. It go Holly Berry, a hallelujah.
Oh, okay.
He's the other guy rapping on that song. It's another one that you like, the specific song that you like. I can't think of it.
You said it's J
Win,
Rock. Oh,
win.
okay.
Yeah, that one.
Familiar. Okay, got
Uh,
it.
Absol. What?
I was it Absol that I was reading about?
He's like losing his vision.
Is that the one that was born in Germany?
Oh, I don't
It
know.
was somebody that was born in Germany that I looked
I
up.
think that's might be Schoolboy Q. You know who Schoolboy Q is though. Doom doom doom. Holly Greens.
It was
I don't
no, it
know.
wasn't.
I don't know
Yeah,
the
it was
words.
Schoolboy Q.
I don't know the
Yeah, I looked
words.
him up because I was like, Schoolboy Q. Now ain't got to be Quentin. Then I was like, Quincy. I always try to figure out how did they get to their name.
Yeah. Um. What is Kendrick came out. Kendrick did his thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that how he reps his city and always puts his city on. Dr. Dre came out. Um, when Dr. Dre came out and was like, "Psst, I see dead people."
Mm-hmm.
Man, the crowd went crazy.
So one of the things that bothers me
Uh huh.
is that we don't acknowledge the things that Dr. Dre has done that have
The
been
negative
vile,
things.
and we totally disregard that because like Kendrick got this whole they not like us talking about pedophiles, but you got a woman beater here
Yeah.
and we're celebrating him.
Um.
I took it there. You wasn't ready
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
I have to
I.
say that.
I honestly don't know what to say because you're absolutely correct.
But we act like because Dre did the chronic, nothing else happened.
I don't know what to say, man. Dang.
It's
But
just one of those
so
things.
moving right along.
But
Dog Article.
I am not a
You can
huge
ruin a wet dream, man.
sorry. I'm not a huge fan of West Coast music. However, I really do like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
Um, back when I listened to CDs in the car, I
yeah.
did ride around. It's still in my car,
It,
obviously. But I used to listen to Good Kid, Mad City. Um, it's I really like I enjoyed the show. I know that Kendrick is a massive artist, but he
man,
still has a that's your friend cousin up the street feel to him.
yeah,
Like he doesn't feel like he's larger than
yeah.
life. He still seems like he's very like personable, although you can't touch him.
You,
Does that make sense?
yeah. And this is where I was going with this whole
Oh,
thing
go ahead. I'm
because
sorry.
you brought up Dr. Dre's, and I have nothing to like. I can't
You
defend that,
can't. You can't.
and I'm not going to try.
I would
Cause
say if you tried, I'd be ready to argue.
Dr. Dre did some messed up stuff.
He did.
Um, but this concert to me, in my opinion, was an exclamation point on the Drake and Kendrick beef.
The fact that he ran "They Not Like Us"
It
five
was
times,
six.
6 times. It was instrumental at the
Right, but still
end.
6 times.
He stopped it, said, "Put all the games together. Let's take a picture," and
Right,
then was like, "And run it back again."
run it back, run it back, and it was like this is the first. Every time was like the first time he had played it.
Yeah, because nobody in
He
there
got
was
hyper and hyper and hyper and hyper.
nobody in there was tired of it. Um,
Cause it's gonna win Song of the Year.
you think
He got
so?
man, yes, that is a bopper.
And the funny thing, like we were talking about also that he took the copyright
Yeah,
things away from it from YouTube and
yeah,
everything else so that people could use this song on
y-
everything.
yeah.
And I'm like, he's not even standing to like try to profit off of royalties or anything.
Nope.
He's just like, y'all can have it.
Here,
I did
here,
this for you guys.
exclamation point. And we was talking about what can Drake, or if anything,
Gospel,
Drake do
gospel.
at this point to like, does this ruin Drake's career? I don't think it ruins it,
Mm-mm.
but it definitely sheds a light on Drake's career.
I saw that. Um, what is YG's? Uh,
I don't
because I
know.
looked this up.
I didn't even notice that.
I looked this up. 'Cause I told you I was like, YG, what is that? And I was like, his name is Keenan. I don't get it, but it stands for Young Gangster.
No.
Now, why everybody in California want to be a gangster? Like it wasn't
I
nothing else
mean,
to
that's
do.
the culture.
First off, there are palm trees.
Yeah.
Nigga, be happy.
That's the culture up there.
Just be
He
happy.
just has to sit down. Man, Drake, uh the funny part is I feel like Kendrick started it. The Kendrick, like, cause
Mhm.
he went real hard at Drake. I don't know what Drake said to Kendrick or where this beef came from. But in defense of YG,
He's got a few songs with Drake,
Kendrick
actually. YG
Kendrick
is what I'm
had
talking about.
Kendrick had a big song with Drake on his first album. I don't know the name of it, but it was on there.
You like, yeah, it existed.
She said, "Apologize and a short leave of absence." That man should go act again.
I mean, they can reprise what is it? Wheelchair Jimmy?
No,
Wasn't it his
then
name?
Wheelchair Jimmy died. Didn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch that show.
I didn't even know what that show was. They was like, "Yeah, he was on Degrassi." What is Degrassi?
Never watched it.
But nah, I think Drake just needs to let it go. Drake should have went to the concert,
Mhm,
to really show that he's unfazed and continue to make music. In the way that he makes it.
mhm.
I don't think he
Did he
should
do more
change
than one
anything.
song with him or just the one? Poetic Justice is the one.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Poetic just, but yeah, I mean,
Oh, effing problems with ASAP, Drake, Two Chains, and Kendrick Lamar.
oh, okay, I didn't know that, or I probably did.
But that's neither Drake or is that Drake's song?
That, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
like,
Drake's song.
we can let's not forget how big of a pop star Drake is, and
Hmm.
I use pop, because it's hard. It's hip hop pop, and
Hmm.
that's how he got so big of a star. You know, doing a song with Drake puts you in a different realm of people. That's why I think Sexy Red is benefiting greatly from working with Drake so much. And
Sexy Red is an industry plant.
she's the
She's a
definition.
Drake plant.
She's definitely the definition of what an industry plant would be if she is. Because she came out of nowhere with I can't remember the East Coast ain't coming because like man they don't have a reason.
That's a Canadian
Yeah,
problem.
that's a Kendrick, and Kendrick did that like think about it. It was on Juneteenth.
Hmm.
Uh, he closed the show out with one of the biggest tracks of this year so
Hmm.
far,
Yeah.
and um, he went at Drake.
Hmm.
Like,
As I told Tommy, there's only one person that's got Kendrick's level of petty as it comes to dissing at this point, and that's Chris Brown.
yeah,
Because when Chris
yeah.
Brown told
I still think "Hit 'Em Up" is one of the most
well, I'm
disrespectful
talking about of today.
diss tracks ever.
But
Well,
when he
Chris
said the
Brown.
wrong Migo died,
Yeah, Chris Brown went there.
now I will say the absolute worst thing you could do for your career is make Kendrick and Chris mad
Yeah,
at the same time.
Pound Town. That's what it was.
That was the it's
That's
pink in her booty hole
yeah,
brain.
that's what got Sexy Red some type of popularity,
Hmm.
and then she linked up with Drake that puts her in a different.
And where did Drake find her?
I have no clue.
And I wish he would have left her there.
I have no clue. That's why Kendrick was like, "You see Sexy Red, you see too bad."
Oh, I wish he would have left
Oh,
her there.
that's so funny, man. But
Like Sexy Red got off of my likability list. Not that she was on it,
yeah,
but when I would listen to the radio in the morning to take Lily to school, and Lily started singing "Hands on Your Knees,"
yeah.
and I was like, "Absolutely
Well,
not. We're done."
she sings nursery rhymes,
I know.
and that's it's like the Pied Piper.
Hmm.
You know, you get these songs, and the kids start singing them to follow you. You know,
She's from St. Louis, right?
yeah.
Okay,
But no, for East Coast, I divide East Coast and South
because
up.
we are two different
Yeah,
things.
because it's way two different sounds, two different styles, and everything. But I was wondering what level, what type of concert would we have to do on the East Coast, and then on in the South to have that type of level
I'm judging
that
Deshauna. Like
Kendrick brought.
I can't do it. I don't know. The thing is you have to also look at the demographic of people
Yeah.
because I don't even know who the young rappers are.
Hmm.
But I guess Kendrick isn't a young rapper because Kendrick is,
He's our age.
yeah, like he's a year.
Like
I think
the
he's a year older than us.
he's 87.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Um it's wild to think about, and I don't know either, but um like for his level, right?
Hmm.
It's him, Drake, J. Cole that are on, and Dreamville Festival is nothing like this concert that he put on.
Hmm.
And I don't think anybody can do that from the East Coast. Drake can't do it now for sure.
That's still
Right. That's still Canada.
Canada.
But from the East Coast or even from the South, we don't have anybody that would bring that type of thing out because one, um, Kendrick was a huge artist that the fact that he didn't come out with music
Hmm.
for so many years and it still was like everybody's gonna listen for Kendrick verse, Kendrick album, Kendrick single.
That's how Andre 3000
That's
is.
exactly how Andre 3000
But
was.
Andre 3000 is also not going to do a concert
Yeah,
except for on this flute.
right. And if Outkast did a concert,
It would have to be the whole Dungeon family
yeah.
because he's not.
No, I'm saying if he was like, all right, I'm back.
Hmm.
You know, I'm finna do a concert. I'm finna give everybody one more,
Hmm.
right? It'll probably be the biggest concert that anybody has heard, listened to, went to. Just because he the mysteriousness in him, right?
Hmm.
And the fact that he comes back, people are gonna be trying to see if he still got it.
Hmm.
Is it good? Is it bad? Has he lost a step? What's up? Why is he doing this? All these questions come up
Hmm.
if Three Stacks and Big Boy, like people wouldn't question about Big Boy, but Three Stacks will be the person that gets people
Because
there.
Big Boy's still actively
Raps,
rapping, and we've seen Big Boy perform like 4 times.
yeah. I listened to Big Boy's album. Yeah, but Kendrick got it.
Yeah.
That was a moment. Like man, you see the video in Harlem where they was just all out
Hmm.
in the street, man. Like I
That's
was,
one thing I like about New York is just people just be outside.
yeah. But it's like, man, if you can bring people together to hang out and have fun like that, man, that's something beautiful to see.
Hmm.
Especially in a time where you don't get a chance to see that, do that, or hear about that.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you see big crowds, the first thing come up in your mind is something negative is about to happen. Something violent. Somebody's gonna get into a fight. Somebody's shoot. Somebody's gonna be sexually assaulted.
I hate that that's the thought process that people can't just be together
Yeah.
for something outside of
But
a
we know
sporting
it's
event.
we know it's true. We know that thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it's like if you ever growing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
At our football games, we saw a lot of like heavily policed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when we played the black, like when we played Howard,
Mm-hmm.
police was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
When we played Tyner, Alstonese,
Mm-hmm.
police was everywhere. Especially when they came to Brandon. And it's like why did we get to that point? I don't know how it is now, but why did we get to that point to where we have to be so policed out here
Mm-hmm.
because we know something dangerous is about to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I love it too, man. It was on Juneteenth. How did you guys celebrate Juneteenth? Let
we
us let us know in the comments. We
we
finna get
went
out of
to
here.
a festival that was very small,
Yeah,
but I think next year I want to go to the one in Atlanta
yeah,
instead of the one that we went to.
yeah,
But we got to figure out something like as the norm,
yeah.
because the norm for black people for the 4th is the grill. We
Hmm.
ain't celebrating nothing but the day off work. But that's
Yeah,
the norm. Like,
yeah.
what do we make it as being the norm? Because I grew up going to the Juneteenth festival, and
I didn't. So
but we always did that the weekend. So
yeah.
there's that.
But you guys let us know in the comments how you celebrated Juneteenth. And
We took a road trip to Bucky's. What did you get? Did you get some beef jerky? I go for the cookies.
I go for the bathroom break.
All because the bathrooms be clean.
But yeah, let us know and everything. We finna get out of here, guys. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Um, for this hour and a half, almost. That's crazy. But yeah, follow the channel, subscribe to our channel if you're not. Hit the notification bell.
She got cookies, jerky, and brisket.
Man, I haven't had the brisket yet, have I?
You tasted a bite of mine.
Did I?
Yeah, I had a brisket
Oh, did
sandwich.
you?
Yeah, you
Oh,
took a bite.
oh. I didn't have my own. The jerky's good.
Hmm.
But yeah. Let's get out of here, man.
All right.
Let's go do
See
something.
y'all next week.
We love you guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate you
next week we're gonna
guys.
be here.
Brisket, yeah. Um, and we out, man. Peace.
Bye, y'all.